My name is Zach McGowan, and I play Captain Charles Vane.
My name is Jessica. I play Max.
My name is Mark Ryan. I play Mr. Gates.
What was your first reaction when you found out you were going to be on a show about pirates?
Well, excited. I mean, who doesn't want to be a pirate? I think we all had the same reaction when we talked about this, but when we read the script, we went, this is not your normal pirate show. This is a very in-depth, dynamic, dramatic, historic look at how pirates really lived, and I think that was the first time I went, wow, this is going to be different, and it's going to be big, and very excited about it.
I think for me, because I don't play a pirate in a very superficial way, because when I think of pirates, my brain thinks of like mysterious, sexy men. As a young woman, I was mostly just really excited that I was going to be surrounded by pirates on a daily basis. Men that look like pirates.
I thought, I said, well, I've just been cast as a pirate. Better switch from whiskey to rum. It's very challenging because there's so much more that needs to happen for any shot. Even if it's two guys walking out of a door and they're talking coming out of an establishment, whereas nowadays you can shoot that anywhere if it wasn't a period piece. But because it's a period piece, there's just a lot of preparation and a lot of time and people that go into making it work. To me, I was actually astounded at how well it was put together in that way. I mean, there's times you walk out of there and you're like, I am a pirate, because all I can see is pirates and period authentic buildings and swords and animals.
Which is the part of it that makes it easier. It is very difficult in a lot of ways, but as soon as the first time I walked on set, I was like, wow, I am not surrounded by extras. I'm surrounded by real people and sheep and little dogs running around and horses, and you let the world around you inform you and inform your character, and you're instantly there, which makes it a lot easier.
I think, for me anyway, when I did the walkthrough for the Nassau town set and saw the scale and the size of the boats, I was like, okay, this is going to be the other character in the show is going to be this environment that we're working in. And when you stepped onto those boats, when we were actually filming on them, you were in a different universe. You were in the costume, you were in the props, and you're surrounded by everybody else dressed up and playing their parts. You're just stepping into an alternative lifestyle, an alternative universe, and it was, it helped a lot. It supported everything else that we were trying to bring to the characters.
One of the things I liked about the show was everybody seemed to fall in a different area of the moral compass. It's not just black or white, good and bad. How do you think that will help you develop your characters throughout the series?
Well, I think the notion of good and bad is very simple, and black sails is very complex. That regardless of whether you're a good or a bad person or whatever term you want to use, if you are a thief, can you still be a thief and a nice guy? Can you be a murderer and a nice guy? And I think those are questions that will let the audience answer.
Yeah, there'll be so much dialogue about the show, I think. I can just see people going, oh, well, I love this guy. How can you love that guy? That guy's so bad, And I think that'll keep the dynamic really interesting. Everyone will have a different favorite character.
There are many classes of ethical imperatives in the show. I mean, everybody's got different drives for different reasons. By the very nature of piracy, you're robbing or thieving from other people. But if you're doing it because it serves a greater purpose, or an end where you enrich the group or the island, or you keep trading and you're rebelling against the British, rule, then it's allowed. It's okay to do that. So within the characters themselves, there are many clashes of those drives, dramatically and emotionally, and that's what makes the show, I think, is going to make the show successful, is because it's like in real life. You have those challenges every day, and people will be able to relate to the characters because they're going to see situations where they go, oh, you know what I mean? It reflects society.
Yeah, I mean, all of our bosses, right? Starz has hired us to do this, and Chris Albrecht, who runs Starz, right? He was the first guy he basically started cable television the way it is now. These amazing shows, and who was the first character he put out was, I think it's always been about you know, who wants to just watch something that's so cut and dry that, you know, if you want to watch that, like, you can watch children's television. Like I have kids, and you know, you watch children's television, it's cut and dry, it's black and white, it's very simple. But the world isn't like that. And as you get older, you realize that gray areas are really all that exist.
And I think it's a lot more interesting. Like, one of my favorite shows is Breaking Bad. It's great to have a main character who you watch and you know what they're doing is so wrong, but you're still loving that, and you're constantly battling with yourself whether you want to fight for this character or you're ready to give up on them. It just makes every episode so much more interesting.
Exactly. Because aren't we all?
Yeah.
Don't we all have the dark and the light?
Yeah.